Hello everyone and welcome back. Let's talk about Tichondrius. So before you start any of the fights, it's important to note the positioning of the room. You should have the right hand side of the room for people who do not have the plague and the left hand side of the room for people who do have the plague. This decorative circle marks the two edges where you should tank Tichondrius and where you should tank the ads. Moon is where you are going to be taking all the ads and doing ad duty, and Tichondrius should not move from where he stands. Again, the right hand side where you see the star is for people who do not have the plague, and the green side is for people who do have the plague. Here we have another view where we have the clean people on the right, plagued people on the left, and ad duty at the skull. So again, Tichondrius is not to move from his position. You are to tank and DPS all of the ads at the edge of the circle, keep one side of plagued and one side of non-plagued. So basically what Tichondrius will do is he'll hand out a plague to people. Now what this plague will do is every now and then he'll cast a swarm, and when that swarm is cast, a line will be cast from Tichondrius to the person with the plague. If anyone is in between that line, they will also get the plague. It does high ticking damage. If the large majority of your raid gets this plague, you will not be able to heal them fast enough. So again, Tichondrius will be tanked where he stands. Once one tank gets the blood debuff, the other tank will taunt off. So you see here, the other tank is main tanking right now. As soon as he gets the debuff, I will taunt off. So here we have the debuff, I taunt off, and the other tank runs to the edge of the circle to tank and DPS those ads down. Those ads are #1 priority. Every single DPS, melee and range, should swap. You do see here over on the right hand side, people that are infected with a plague do not get to interact with these ads unless they are ranged. Melee DPS with the plague will stay on the boss at all times. So here we have it, I have the ads. I run over to the skull and start taking the ads. The other thing you see here is the echoes of the voids. He throws up a few pillars and starts shadow bolting everything. You need to hide behind one of these pillars so you don't take that damage, even as the ad tank. Unfortunately, I did get plagued here because one of the DPSers did run in where the tanks were and gave us all the plague. However, we're still going to be fine with this. So you can see a huge amount of raid-wide damage is going out because a ton of people have the plague. However, you do see the tainted blood here is being tanked away from the boss. One thing that does happen with Tichondrius is that he requires a huge amount of damage. So again, here we have the ads stacked with the echoes phase. So hide behind a pillar and DPS these ads down as fast as possible. Here we have the phase 2, which is the illusion phase. Everybody should collapse as best as they can and start killing these blood fangs. They're going to drop an orb on the ground that is going to give you a haste. You see these orbs on the ground dropping as soon as they die. I'll highlight them here. So again, everybody should collapse as best as they can and avoid the beams. Now your highest DPS and your highest healers should get these orbs. These orbs will increase damage and healing by 30%, so it's a pseudo lust. If you don't want Tichondrius to enrage, you're going to need to pick these up. So once that phase is over, back to regular business, except for the ad phase will actually have even more ads than normal. So here we have ads, I taunt off. So you do see more ads spawn in the back, 2 additional spell guards. They need to be picked up by the ad tank and tanked in the back there. Now you do see the debuff that goes out to some people. They drop an arcane cloud area on the ground. You basically need to, if you get the debuff, that means that you're going to drop this on the ground. You need to run away and go to a corner to drop this area. Again, here we have ads and echoes at the same time, moving back into position so that everybody knows to DPS these ads. And basically what's going to happen is Tichondrius is going to keep repeating this cycle between giving you ads to DPS, going back on him, Here we have some additional ads and illusion phases. Every time an illusion phase is over, here we go, I'm going to swap the tanks again. Every time an illusion phase is over, more ads will be spawning. Now, while the bloods are not to be tanked by the boss, the spell guards can be tanked by the boss if there is no other solution. So here I was tanking the spell guards by the boss. The other bloods are about to go down. At that point, when the tanks switch, I will be able to run away. If you get caught in a position like this, pop defensive cooldowns because bloods hurt a lot. So here's the switch. I hop over during an echo, so I have to hide behind a pillar. Unfortunately, I also get that cloud drop, so I do have to move away. So again, the ads are #1 priority, and here we have the illusionary phase. Make sure kill as many blood fangs as you possibly can and get your big DPS and big healers to pick up these orbs. The tanks should be second priority to this. Unfortunately, with this group, we kept hitting the berserk timer, but that means that we saw every single transition and every single phase accordingly. And here the ads are just waiting once the phase is over. So again, go back to your positions where you were before the phase ended. Now, in LFR version, you're going to get more time before the berserk, and in heroic version, you're going to get less time before the berserk. You do see here that after that illusionary phase, we actually have even more ads. We do have a watcher who is going to take #1 priority. Once you get out of the second illusionary phase, when you have that watcher, he is the #1 DPS priority, followed by the spell blades and the blood. So again, bloods are at the bottom of the priority, but you can cleave them all really well. As far as when to pop lust during this fight, right after the illusionary phase is the perfect time to pop lust. One big difference between normal and heroic is in heroic mode, you're actually going to get these bombs on the ground on the clean side with people that are not affected by the plague. Now, if you are on the clean side and you do have this brand on you, it takes 4 other people running on you to pop this brand. What this brand does when it blows up is it actually does a very high amount of raid-wide damage. So what you should do is with the brand, prepare, get people to collapse, and start spam healing the raid, because if this stacks with echoes, you're gonna have some people that go down inevitably. So in heroic mode, over here on the clean side, you should have people stacking and collapsing for this brand. So again, to sum up Tichondrius, DPS the ads immediately. Plagued and non-plagued players should be separated in the room, and during the illusionary phase, everybody should collapse in order to maximize AoE DPS and get everybody that needs an orb to pick one up. Priorities are highest DPS and healers first, and then everybody else below that. If you can lust everyone, then that's perfect. The perfect time to pop Bloodlust as well is right after the illusionary phase. So to sum up Tichondrius, handle your ads, dodge the echoes by hiding behind pillars, don't let too many people get plagued, and make sure you get enraged and pop hero at the right time, or you will hit the berserk timer. As far as the ads, after every illusionary phase, you will start getting more and more ads. Ad priority is watchers to spellblades to bloods. In the LFR version of this fight, besides having more time, the bloods can also just be tanked on Tichondrius and DPS there. However, you still need to switch tanks no matter what, so that no tank is taking too much damage with that blood debuff. As always, I'm covering every single boss of NIGHTHOLD. If you guys want those guides, go ahead and click here on the screen. I'm getting the last of them out today, so if you guys need any help in any of those fights, go ahead and click here or click on my channel. And as always, good luck out there.